Okay, so I think we talked about some transformations, right? Sartor algorithm, and also we talked about normalizer transformation, right? Yes. So let me share my desktop. Yeah. Yes. So we talked about the normalizer transformation. So this will be used for transpose. One more word here. Or pivot or rotation, right? These are synonyms, but what we discussed was how are we going to convert columns to rows? Yeah? So this part we know. Yeah. So with the occurs, we talked about it. So with occurs and with occurs equal to 1 and also more than 1, right? So occurs is equal to 1 equivalent with what? No rotation, right? And occurs is more than 1 equal to, like, yes, rotation will be applied. Yeah. So that part we know. Yeah. So, and mainly this particular normalizer transformation has been designed for dealing with hierarchical data. Example, mainframe data, yeah, where you will have one representation in hierarchical form. Plus, we can also have what we call data, which will be represented with by using what? Simple type system or simple data types, and also we have complex or derived data types, like which uses vectors, subrecord, whatever, right? So in that case, normalizer is going to help us. That's the one thing, like how we represent data. But why do we need, or what is the essence of using this particular normalizers? So that's where we use what aggregator, because let us say we have got quarterly represented data like Q1, Q2, Q3, and so on. Now, this data has been represented what we call vertical form, which means column form. Now, can we perform aggregation if the data is represented in this form? Answer is no. Now, let us say we need to calculate sum of uh, quarterly sales that has happened in the last financial year. In that case, it's very difficult to do it if the data is represented in this particular form. That is where we convert this quarterly data to what? In row wise, like 1, 2, 3, then apply any kind of aggregation, like sum or average or standard deviation or variance, whatever. So in that context, this particular what I call rotation is going to help us. Likewise, you can think of many other industry scenarios where normalizer is going to help us to solve corporate business problems. Yeah. So now after that, we have seen like sorter algorithm, right? So sorter is basically is very easy to use. So usage wise, it's very simple. But when it comes to the algorithm perspective, it is very complex because one, it involves n number of threads, and second, communication or establishing the relationship among multiple threads, and then data transfer, which leads to data transfer overhead. Besides to that, anyway, we have to have what we call more processing power in order to process this data, right? That anyway is required, even if you have single thread also. But these are the added what we call overheads when it comes to what sorter transformation. Right? Fine. So because this has got overhead, right? Whatever transformations that we have within IICS, right, which are functionally dependent on sorter, right? Like example, aggregator, and we have a joiner, and wherever what we call there is a dependency of sorter, right? All of them will have again performance overhead. So that is why we should be very careful while using this sorter or dependent transformations because of performance overhead. Yeah. But if you have very high-end resources where the customer don't care about this particular performance, then we don't need to think this much. We can directly make use of it. Yeah. So that's the one. That's the second thing we discussed, and then we can start getting into what we call other transformation. We call let's see, Java transformation. Otherwise, we'll talk about tasks today. Yeah. Transformation will go back. Only 3, 4 are there, right? So we can finish it off fast. So we have got pre-built tasks in IICS. Yeah. So which means task means it's just like a reusable uh, activities. In the sense, people have already built what we call pre-built templates. You can say. Yeah. So we just have to supply the input. Input means data like connection details, whatever, right? Supply input and expect corresponding results. For instance, we talked about building a mapping, right? So instead of doing that, let us say we need to perform replication. So we have to write or create a mapping separately to perform replication. Now the question, if someone has already done it, like how replication would take place in the form of what? Template. We just have to fill the block. Block in the sense we just have to supply the input, yeah, so that we could able to transfer data from source to a target. Yeah. So that's what happens when it comes to what I call task. Likewise, you can think of many. There are many pre-built tasks, like we have got synchronization tasks, and we have got what do you call even SCD one task, SCD two tasks, and we got many other tasks. Yeah. So not only that, we also have got task flows also. Task flows also we don't need to build it. We already have got pre-built templates like to perform linear task flow, where if you want to run multiple tasks in a sequence, which means one after another, we could do it just by using a template. So we don't need to build it from the scratch. Instead, we can directly make use of pre-built templates. Likewise, we have got, if you want to run multiple tasks in parallel, we have got some other template. And we have got one more task flow, what we call run task with including decision. So, so we can have a number of tasks with a conditional way of executing those tasks. So likewise, we have got some more task flows which are built by Informatica. We just need to make use of it, instead of building it from the scratch. But if you don't want this reusable templates to be used, instead you want to build it from the scratch, then we can build our own task flow from the scratch also. We got both the provisions. For instance, if you take a task level, we have got mapping, right? Where we can build a map and get the job done. That's what we did so far. If you don't want it, if you already have a task, for example, if you want to perform SCD1, SCD2, whatever, right? SCD3, we need to put in a lot of effort. Yeah. So we have to use lookup and update strategy, then expression, sequence generate, whatever. We have to use multiple transformations to get the job done. Instead, they've already done and kept it in the form of a template. We just need to make use of it to get the job done. So that's one of the major benefit that we get it with these templates. Yeah, we don't need to think at all. So which not only that, there's one more major reason why we use these templates because business users. Yeah. So usually we don't expect technical knowledge from business users. So they can just fill the input and expect corresponding results. So which means this IICS it has been driven from the perspective of business users. So slowly, I think from IICS, right, most of the operations can be done by the business users without what you call having the dependency from application developers. Now itself, we got many things that can be done slowly. They'll get it done without having any application developers dependency or with a little dependency from application developers. So fine. Now let us see how we could do it practically when it comes to what tasks, task flows, whatever. We'll start with the task. So let's log in now. Yeah. So now let us say new. Yeah. Can you see here? One of the asset is what? Task. So let us start with first and foremost task, which is mapping task. But this is required if you want to run any mapping as a task, because as we all know that direct execution of mapping is not possible in reality. So though we run it internally, it is going to convert that to in the task form and get it executed. Yeah. So, but if you want to do it explicitly, then we can use what? Mapping task. So let us create this. Yeah. So mapping task, let's say sample. And this is same. This is the first mapping task. See here, like, do we need any technical knowledge to perform this? Yeah. So click on select. And let's say we are using mapping aggregator. Yeah. So let us say these mappings are done by application developers long time ago. Now, business users wants to build a solution based on n number of mappings. So in that case, they don't need to ask developers. They can direct make use of this interface where they can call any number of tasks, any number of mappings within itself. Yeah. Now the next question, we can run this particular task on demand mode or in a scheduled mode. If you want to run in schedule, right? If the schedules are already defined, we can make use of it, or else we can also define schedule like occurrence, repeat, or whatever, right? Daily, weekly, or hourly, such things you can specify, get it executed. Or on demand, this is on demand execution, which means whenever you want, we can just get it executed. Next, let us say if you want to notify the status of this particular task, irrespective of any status, failure or warning or success. If you want only notification for failure, you can specify here. Yeah, let us apply this. Let's say I'm giving my mail ID. Fine. In case of failure only. Yeah. But if you want even for success, let us start with success because we are using success moment. Say finish. After that, if you want to edit also, modify some properties. Yeah. Then again go to schedule. In the bottom, we also have got what is the some more properties like parameterization. Yeah. So we can supply parameter file directory and param file name so that we can supply values to a parameter at runtime. We will talk about that also, like how parameters can be achieved. And then mode also you can select normal mode or burst mode. Plus, we also have got what you call performance tunables, where we can add any parameters here, like TTM buffer size, whatever, right? Those things can be specified. Yeah. That's it. Now let us run it. That's it. Yeah. So did we do any coding here? No, right? We are just making a call to pre-built mapping. Yeah. Any questions here? Only notes.
Hi, Narasim.
Okay.
Regarding performance tuning, uh, we also discussed the sorter transformation, right? Where we, if there is a limitation for the buffers, then
Mm.
there will be multiple things that will be
Yes.
running right
Yeah.
overhead.
Yeah.
So, is it the right place where we go to the DTM and increase the buffer size if there is a sorter transformation? For so we are talking about many rows to sort, you know.
Yes. But that may not solve 100% as a problem, but number of threads and communication that will be same irrespective of whatever DTM buffers are that we use. Yeah. But yes, it might reduce in the sense with respect to data transfer. Let's say by default ATM buffer size can fit 10 rows. Now, if you increase that, no, it might fit 30 rows or 100 rows. In that case, data transfer we can just eliminate, but number of threads, spawning part, and establishing communication that we can't avoid. Ali?
So where do I address those issues in the performance tuning? Where do I go for that? For addressing threads, number of threads.
Oh, that we cannot avoid. But only
Mm.
thing we can avoid here is having high-end system where we can ignore like span override and interaction part. That's only one thing. But what you said is also right. Though we have, if you go with the default buffer size and also cache size and also scratch disk, right? Yes, there will be a little overhead. We can tune it by applying the right numbers based on the volume of data that we deal with to some extent, Ali.
So, is there any standard like for if this is the volume of data, then we should do certain
Yeah, we need to
numbers, or
calculate. Yes,
we
we
need
need
to
to
calculate?
calculate. Also, we need to take multiple inputs. One kind of hardware we have, kind of operating system doesn't matter. Kind of number of CPUs we have, and memory, and I/O blocks that have been allocated to this particular IICS project. That's the first input, and next, how many number of tasks that you are running in a production environment, and third input will be SLA. These three factors should be considered before we apply any tunables on.
Right. So the IICS administration is a different course, right? Is it like
That is separate.
separate?
Administration is, we can talk about some of them, but yes, there are lots of
Right.
topics in that, like users, groups, roles, even from the performance perspective, also we can configure some properties like a JVM size, virtual machine heap size, right? Minimum heap size, maximum heap size, stack size, permissible size, maximum permissible size. These are all the values that will be supplied by the administrator, but you can recommend those values to the administrator. They'll take a call like how to configure. But as a developer or as a solution provider, they have to supply the values because we are the right people to calculate like how much is the memory that is required to get the job done for a task level or task flow level, right? But administrators are responsible to configure because blindly they cannot configure for one mapping, right? In case if you need similar settings for all the tasks or most of the tasks that we have in the production environment, right? Then they can go ahead because once you set global properties, right, they'll be applicable for all the tasks. So that kind of overhead we have it at admin level. Likewise, you can think of many other administrative tasks on it.
Right. Right. So those are global level, not specific to tasks, right? Yeah.
No, global.
Okay.
Specific to task means we can do it like we are trying to configure, right? Here itself we can take care, right?
Right.
Yeah. Now let's refresh it. See, it got completed. Yeah. So we got the result. I think long time back we have done this thing, right? So we got the aggregation result. So we have calculated count, sum, and average. So we got it. So this way we can take care of calling mapping within a task. Yeah. And yeah, can you see we got a mail also? Mapping task sample we gave, right? It is completed successfully from this organization. Name and ID, then start time and time. And we can also see mapping name that we have used and what mapping contains, source, target, all that, aggregator, then number of rows that have been successful. So this kind of summary information that we get it from IICS. You got right? And
Right.
if
So
you go,
is it?
yes,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah. So this summary information is actually really important, like to track
Exactly.
what's how much time a mapping took when we can track the start time and time, right? And we can further tune it later on, like it later as a project, like tuning all the mappings to check
Exactly. You are
they are
right.
comfortable. And also, but to do that, we need to have like to track this. Now, this is coming in the email, right? So if I have thousands of mappings, so I will have thousand emails, and who's going to go through the email? So is it possible to track all these system parameters into a
Yes,
table, or maybe in one file where we get all the results in one file and then we can download
that
and
yeah, that's a good question. So we need to write a shell script to do that. Ali. That is very much possible, and it's not complex also.
okay, okay,
Fine.
yeah.
Just what do you call a graph for all the tasks starts with a mapping, whatever. Then uh, grab the time or complete summary status, whatever, and redirect that to a log file. And that log file would contain the summary information for all the tasks that have been executed. Yeah,
Right. So, but I will execute the task over here like I as usually. But what I will do is I have to add a shell script at the end, right? Before the
exactly.
end,
Yeah,
and to capture the result of this
yes.
all the tasks. Maybe I can have a maplet or something which will capture the results of all the. I
Script.
can apply the maplet in the where I can have the shell script inside the maplet, and then reuse that maplet in all my mappings to capture the results, for any mapping, like it can become
Yeah,
like standard.
that's correct. That's one thing. And second thing, normally what we do on we create a mapping that's purely developer point. And if needed to capture like what you're expecting, right? We usually do it at task flow level where we build a solution. We usually don't build a solution at mapping level. We build a solution at task flow level where we make a call to n number of tasks, which means n number of tasks, n number of mappings. At the end of it, which means at the end of task flow, we can call this particular shell script so that it takes care of what you wanted, Ali. That's the best practice. You got it.
I got it. Yes.
Yeah. So Maplet is basically we build it is similar to mapping only. It's a reusable thing, nothing else, right? Here is also a script that can be called in any task flow. Yeah, fine. So now I think yes, if you want, we can also change this. As if you don't want this notification, you can just finish. By default, at organization level, also we have this notification settings. There also you can set this email. Yeah, that's if you run it, you won't get an email. Yeah, it got over. Now you will not get an email because it has been taken out. Yeah, fine. Now let us start with understanding building another task, a replication task, yeah, or let's say synchronization task. Let's say we have got source as flat file and target as Salesforce or database. We need to make sure that data is what or uniformity maintained across all the medias. In that case, we use what? Synchronization. For example, let's say we got two data centers. One is in India, other is in US. Now we need to make sure that once in a while, just once in 1 hour, once in a day, data synchronization to which should take place across multiple geographical regions. In that case, we can run this particular task. Yeah. So now let us see how to configure. This is very straightforward. Yeah, let it be one. As we are performing insert operation. Yeah, that's a single source type we are using. Yeah, now source is done. Next, target. Target could be anything. It could be a database, even file also. Yeah, here we just have to specify any target. So far we have used create at runtime, right? This is existing option. Existing target we are trying to use. We got C1, C2, C3, other columns. Other columns we can ignore it. Now on top of that, if you want to apply any filter condition, yeah. So we could do it. Let's just say one greater than one. Yeah. Right. Now we can perform mapping like column to column. Yeah, we already have it. C1 to C1, C2 to C2, C2. You want to apply any including in a map plate like what you're saying, Ali, we can as well do that. Yeah. And if you want to clear, see it is clear. You can also map it again. That's it. Yeah. Then next. So scheduling part is similar to earlier, like what we discussed. Yeah. Here also you will have parameterization, all that. Yeah. Click on finish. Yeah. And done. Yeah. Here we are trying to limit the number of rows based on a filter condition.
Narasimha,
Yeah.
I have like a couple of questions on this. So if I copy a database, this is like copying, right? From I'm
Yes.
copying all the tables. Like, is it like I copy
With
the
the
entire
condition.
data?
With the condition we are doing. Without condition also we can do it. Yes. Good.
So it's going to be a schema level, or is it going to be the entire database I can copy?
Data. It's a data.
Right. So like all the tables in a schema, is that how I can configure it? Or
It depends on what you specify. If you want all, we can specify. If you specify specific, only that one will be copied.
right. So and what is the cost of it, like in dollars? Like when we are copying data from one place, is it going to take a lot of
It
CPU
depends.
or?
Yes, yes. Definitely, it would take time. time, right? Because it's insert operation or update operation, right? They'll definitely take a lot of time. If you have huge data with more tables, definitely there is going to be proportionate overhead. Okay.
Okay. And like you have mentioned over here, like update, if it's like if there is a change, then if for example a row changed, so that
Yes, that's why we have got one more option, right? Up, insert or update. If you select update, right, it has to
yeah.
check and perform update. So that's the best costly operation, right?
Right, right.
If there are too many changes, no, yes, it will be expensive. And the changes are minimal, it's not.
So on the target database, it will insert the, let's say, row one got inserted yesterday, and then I have an update on it, right? To
Exactly.
condition.
It has to check and perform update. Yeah,
So it will update that same row in the target, right?
exactly.
Okay. And similarly, it has delete operation, or is it?
Yeah, insert, update, or delete. Yeah. Oh, we got error. Huh? Let us see what is this. Okay. Oh, it's a type problem, mismatching type. So input type is a string, but we gave greater than one, right? Which is a numeric value. Yeah. Oh, which one we executed? This one, right? Filter problem. So here you can put quotes.
So if the row doesn't exist in the source, yesterday it existed, today it didn't exist. So when I run this synchronization delete, uh, so
It will be taken out.
it will delete the rows in the target, right?
Exactly.
Okay. And so I have to have like separate tasks for insert one, for update one, for delete one
It
for the same thing.
depends. It depends, darling. Some cases, some business cases, right, where they expect only up-to-date data. In that case, we go with what update operation. Some business cases where, let us say, if the data already exists and if you get similar data, right, in that case, perform deletion. And another business case will be we don't care about what you call up to date or whatever, right? In that case, we keep on inserting data, whatever comes in, so that we don't lose any data which is already processed in the earlier runs. So depending upon business expectation, we can take a call like what kind of operation that we perform over here, right?
Right. So I can perform all these use cases in one task.
No, one task, only one operation. If you want, like as I said, if you want multiple types of tasks, then multiple tasks we need to build it. But target, we need to change it. There's a delete in one target and insert in one target, update in one target. That way we should do it. If you try to use similar target, no, then whichever runs the last, right, that will have highest precedence over earlier process task. Early.
Yeah, because in all cases, my use case will be the same. The table target table will be the same.
So in that case, we don't need multiple tasks because whichever runs the last, right? Last in the sense, let us say last one is a delete. Then though we have done insert or update, right? If this condition matches, no, they'll be deleted. So your effort is gone. Correct, no?
Right. Right.
But sometimes it's valid also. Insert data, perform update, later on take a decision based on the conditional deletion. That's also possible. It all depends on, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So now let us refresh. Yeah. See, we got two rows. Yeah. Because we kept the condition as, I think, greater than one, right? What is the target we gave? Aggregator. Yes. See, we got greater than one. One is not there. So greater than one, we got it. That's it. Now let us say we need to apply parameterization for this particular synchronization task. Can we do it? Yes. For example, here we have built a filter condition with an hard-coded value. Instead, this value should be changed based on the business need. If yes, how do you do it? That's where we need to go with what? Parameterization. So to do that, first we need to create parameter file and place it in either a default location or our own custom location. So by default, it expects this particular param file under what user parameters. Yes, can you see here? User parameters. So let us try to create a new file. Yes, add param, and let us say we have a $$ filter equal to 1 example. So we added param file and with one parameter in it. Now let us try to what you call refer that parameter. How to refer this parameter, and next how to use this param file, param name also. Two things here. Yeah, let us supply param name here anyway. So it is $$ filter, right? That's a parameter name, and then specify parameter file. So this is the one. What is the param name we give? Sorry, param file, param.txt. We have not specified any path here because this is a default path. Yeah. So in case if we have param file which is other than default path, then we need to specify absolute path followed by param file name. Clear, right? Now let us finish it off.
So I can delete the parameter file, right, after I've completed the task?
Yeah. If not needed, we can delete it. But usually, once you create a param file, right, we'll just keep it as it is because we might be referring same param file in many other tasks also. Um,
Uh, why I'm saying this? Because if I'm running every day and I want to take the maximum value from the target, not from the source, and then create the parameter file. And then when I fetch the data from the source, I will use the parameter. So in that
yeah.
case, then I have to always either update the parameter or a parameter file, or either I have to remove it. Otherwise, it will load the same data again, right?
Yes. We need to update parameter file. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Now we got the same result because with param we have done it. Right. Now, for example, let us say we change it. We change the value, which is 2. Restart.
So if I want to update the parameter in an automated way, so I just need to use a shell script, right?
Yes, you are right. Like what you said earlier, right? Like target, based on target table or file data, this
Yeah.
update should take place. So read the data from target file or table and update it in parent file. Yes, you are right.
Okay.
Yeah, refresh this. See, we got 2 rows. So likewise, depending upon whatever operation that you want, you can always do it over here. We said greater than 2, right? Still we got 4, 7 only. If you put greater than 4, um, see, now the count changed because greater than 4, there's only 1 row, right? 7. So this is how we can just modify and see the effect of this parameterization. Is it clear? Like how parameterization works? I think we tried with uh, 3 possible values, right? To see the effect of parameters. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Now, synchronization task with param also we discussed. And next is what we can also talk about replication. Replication just maintain a copy, especially we use this across data centers, like because we never know what happens when due to calamity, natural calamity issues or any other issue, right? In geo, sometimes there'll be severe issues in Western, sometimes there'll be severe issues in Asia. So we have to handle such kinds of things. So that could be handled quite easily by using what application task. Yeah, it's a copy.
So what is the difference here with synchronization?
Yeah, here, yeah, synchronization we specify each object and apply condition and get the data transfer. But here, I think you were asking one question that all objects can we copy data from all the tables? I think you were asking, right? So this will answer a question. We can specify here. Can you see radio button here? So with that, it is going to copy data from all the objects, all the tables. Example. See, we don't have any source connection here. No. So because we don't have any database connection that we created, right? Yes or no? So we have to create it, get the data, and transfer it to target. Yeah. And yeah, and synchronization basically we need to take care of each object separately. So that will take a lot of time. But here we can select all or only specific ones. Yeah, that is very much possible over here. It has been designed for copying only, but synchronization has been designed for what? To a specific object with a condition or with logic, all that we take care over there. Yeah, slight different. Ali.
So if I want to copy not the entire, all not all objects, but all objects in the schema. So
Okay.
yeah,
All
yeah.
objects specific to one schema, right? That's what is specified, right? As part of connection, we specify connection. Let's say username is Ali, schema is Ali. Then once you specify that under that connection, under that schema, whatever objects we have, right? All of them will be copied to the destination. Ali.
Okay.
Yeah. But here we have not talked about database or what is Salesforce, whatever, right? That's we cannot perform. Yeah. So once we are done with that, then we'll come back here. Fine. Okay. Now the next is what we got pre-built, some more pre-built tasks. Like we talked about like how to perform join, right? Yeah. So by using joiner transformation, we have done it here. Even business users also can perform this. Let us say we selected this task, mapping task, join, right? Then select runtime environment. So internet will have some reference, yeah, in the sense it is going to build its own mapping with and it will be stored in this name. Can you see two sources, expression, sorting, joining, and target? So which means we don't, in this case, do we need any developer involvement? No, right? It itself has been taken care of. We just have to supply the inputs only, two sources, all that. That is what we are going to do now. Source connection. SAQ. First one. That's done. Next, source connection. Second file. And select. See, we got second thing. And then two sources are done. Next, target. Again, let's use aggregation. Target could be anything. Yes, click on next. Yeah, here we need to build key columns. Yeah, let's say C1 here. And then first is done, right? And detail also. Let's say this is also C1. Yeah. This is done. So C1 source, C1 to C1. We mapped it. That's it. Yeah. So which means users, they can directly build a condition and if the input data matches with this condition, right, then you will see corresponding result in the terminate.
This is only for inner join, right? Or not left join or
We can
right
change
join.
type of join also.
Oh, okay. It's also for pretty fast for the developer, by the way, or to finish it quickly.
Exactly. But mainly these things have been designed for business users where they don't need to think on what you call technicalities. Instead, they can directly supply input and get the job done. Yeah. That's the main purpose of this. Yeah.
And also, I just noticed the ELT optimization. Is that
Yes.
push down
Yes.
optimization?
Yeah.
Oh,
They're all part of yes performance tuning. You are right.
okay.
See, it is failed. Invalid symbol reference. What is that? C1 contain the following. Invalid symbol reference. Where is that?
Probably the join condition, maybe.
Yeah. Let's see.
See, there is only arrows for the C2, C3 only, but not for C1. The C3 arrows.
So this one, that is
Yeah.
C1. I think we have given it up. C1 we are using key for join. Enter a valid value for parameter target field. Where is this? This is fine. One second. Here we are getting error. Valid value for parameter target field. This one, right? That's what we did already. And it doesn't have meaning. We need to validate actually. Oh, this is the problem. Actually, we have not validated. Invalid symbol reference. Because we don't have that column. That was the problem. Yeah. Because if it is a conflict, right, it is resolved conflict automatically. Now it is fine, right? And then this one, we have this thing, right? Yeah, here also same thing. Yeah, perfect. It's unable to identify symbol. It's just a name problem. That message was not proper actually. They said param, invalid value for param. So instead they should give field.
So it needs to be like source 1 C1 map to source 2 C1, right?
Yes.
So I think in the mapping it's not like that.
Now C1 to source C1.
Source C1, source 1 C1, source 2 C2, right? C1, right?
Yes.
So, but in the mapping it's not like that.
Same, no? See, in mapping, what we did was first we avoided conflict resolution, right? One is a C1, other is we change it to adding prefix, right? Then we build a condition. Instead of that, so in task, it itself has created what we call prefix, SRC C1, whatever. So there is no conflict. Then internally you'll have condition. So that itself will take care. Okay? Yeah, now we got it. So that's a name problem. So now we can see all the matching records. So one column only we mapped it. That's why we got the result for one column only. Because we mapped only one column, right? Look at in this,
Can you show the mapping again?
yeah, task, right?
Yeah, task.
Yeah, source target is straightforward. Yeah, can you see here? Source C1, source 2 C1, two sources.
Yeah.
Names are
But
different.
if you go, so but if you go below, and it says incoming source to C1, and in the target field it shows source to C1.
That is okay, no? In target, we
Okay.
expect only one. Whichever is matched,
No,
no? Either you get it from source to source one, it will be same only, right? So we map.
yeah, like there is one below, like if you go to the
Source one,
source
C1.
one. Yeah, I prefer that we use this one, right?
This also you can do it if you want it. Because we
No,
have
no.
used, right? That is
So
fine.
source one C1 to be should be mapped to the target's source to C1. Like, can you remove this and see if this is possible?
This one, huh?
Yeah, source one C1. Yeah, map to the top one. Go up. Yeah.
That is possible. We can do it. Source one, C1 with C1.
Yeah. Okay.
Any order. The order doesn't matter. So
I
here
see.
also we can. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's it. So let it get executed. So after that, probably tomorrow, we will talk about some more tasks and we'll try to perform some cleansing also to remove nulls or not nulls, whatever. And then we'll get into, yeah, one map that we need to do. Let's see, I think then we'll go with the task flows. That's what we need to do. So with that, get over. But anyway, we just spend a lot of time here also. So here I was trying to talk about, this is generic task flow where we have to build it from the scratch. This is a templatized one. This one, all these are templates. This does linear, this does parallel, this does with the condition, this does the sequential operation, this does with sequence with addition. Yeah. If you want this kind of templates, we can directly use it. Or else we can also build everything from the scratch by using task flow. Yeah. So these things we need to look at it. We'll see that tomorrow. But anyway, this is fine. We know that already, right? So now we map two, right? That's why we got the result for two target columns. You got right? Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's it, guys, for today. So we'll continue from it tomorrow. Fine.
Perfect. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.